What if I told you there was a game made for the Nintendo GameCube that brought together a group of popular video game characters and pitted them against each other? What if I told you it was originally billed as a party game for groups of friends to play together, but a few hardcore nerds decided to look under the hood and found that there was much more depth to the game than met the eye? What if I told you that players decided to see just how far they could push these deeper mechanics, and slowly a competitive scene began to emerge? And no, this isn't about Smash Melee. Today, we're going to be looking at the Animal Friends version of Mario Kart. This is Sonic Riders. Sonic Riders released in 2006 for the GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox. The game was essentially presented as a competitor to Mario Kart, but with Sonic characters. Instead of racing karts, Sonic and his pals race on hoverboards, skates, and bikes, known in-game as Extreme Gear. By collecting rings, you can upgrade your Extreme Gear and improve your performance. In addition to the standard Sonic cast of characters, the game features multiple guests from titles like Nights into Dreams, Space Channel 5, and Super Monkey Ball. The story mode also introduces 3 new characters into the Sonic canon: Jet the Hawk, Wave the Swallow, and Storm the Albatross. While on its surface, Sonic Riders reads very much as if someone's edgy teenage son made a Mario Kart clone, the game quickly departs from its Nintendo peer with the introduction of the air resource. Serving essentially as fuel, all actions in Sonic Riders cost a portion of your air tank, and resource management becomes a vital component in every race.
Well, at first when you play the game, and this is probably why the game didn't take off, because it was marketed as sort of an alternative or competition to Mario Kart, the game fights you. As you're playing the game, not only do you have to keep track of another racer who's, also tearing up the track just as well as you can, but at the same time, you have to sort of real-time strategy, minigame, air management resource, and very, very stressful for a lot of casual players who just wanted to get into sort of like a kart racer that features Sonic characters, which is probably why the game didn't take off, because it had this pretty monumental skill floor.
Sonic Riders sold nearly 1 million copies in 2006, but generally received pretty average reviews. With its tutorial hidden deep in a menu, most players ended up experiencing neither the wacky fun of a kart racer or the trick-focused gameplay the premise suggested. Sonic Riders was destined to be yet another mid-2000s Sonic canon that was beloved by its community, but generally regarded as another misstep by the general public. 10 years later, however, someone would aim to change that perception. So let's meet the hero of this Sonic tale, who fittingly goes by the moniker, the protagonist.
One of my close friends, Mikey Mike again, came over one day. We were getting practice in whatever fighting game. We popped open Sonic Riders, and he was amazing. He was obliterating me. He was tearing up the tracks. Instead of being demoralized, which, I guess a lot of people might get, I was actually amazed. I couldn't believe that the game could look like that it could, be that fast, that intricate. And that could, that same description and recollection could probably remind you of some of the people who have spoken about Super Smash Bros. Melee. Playing fighting games sort of tainted our perspective of these games, because we would try to break them and find tech and skips and all of that. We started to realize that there was competitive potential to some of these games. When it came to Sonic Riders specifically, I was very interested in the amount of depth, the difficulty the game had, and the player interaction that was highly ingrained into what is essentially one of the most difficult racing games you can probably pick up and play. Outside of maybe F-Zero GX, it's probably on that level of mechanical mastery.
As we teased in the intro, the story of Protag's journey with Sonic Riders very much recalls the early days of Super Smash Bros. Melee, a GameCube game with hidden depth that rewarded players for exploring its mechanics and offered a satisfying yet steep learning curve.
People taught me how to do certain tech, how to speedrun better, how to get better at the game, and I kept climbing and climbing up and I just loved the satisfaction that playing the game gives you when you kind of know what you're doing already, and when you learn new stuff and you're able to perform it. It's just a very satisfactory feeling.
Protag began taking Sonic Riders to his local Smash events, and as the group continued to master it, he quickly realized that creating a proper esport out of this game would need quite a bit of work. Where the Melee community spent a generation mastering advanced techniques, refining rule sets, and working hard to push the perception of Smash from a casual party game to a legitimate esport, Protag wanted to get straight to the good stuff. Competition. After spending some time developing a YouTube channel to showcase the game's potential, he eventually formed the Sonic Riders competitive Discord, which now boasts nearly 9,000 members at the time of writing. Pretty quickly, much like Brawl and Project M, the community saw a number of ways that Sonic Riders could be improved, and a team was formed which was intent on creating a mod for the game that would make it more suitable for competition. Thus was born Sonic Riders Tournament Edition.
I met some people, some brilliant people along the way, and the first person I met was Yacker. Yacker is responsible for the fan game Sonic Journey, and he was the first person recruited on the quote-unquote dev team, right? That would be spearheading this project. The second person was another heavyweight titan of the Sonic modding community called Sewer56. He is known for his Reloaded 2 mod loader. He's sort of like the pioneer, or at least the expert on Sonic Heroes modding. And together with these two, they were really interested in the idea of making Riders competitive. I explained to them my idea, my ambition. Some people might quote my somewhat famous mantra. I've said it a lot of times, but Sonic Riders was a sorely misunderstood game. Its in-depth mechanics and skill ceiling actually have real competitive potential, and that's pretty much where where it goes to.
With a solid team in place, Protag and crew set about realizing their vision for Sonic Riders. Their aim was to balance the game and provide new depth to both characters and the extreme gear that was available. One of the most glaring issues in the base game was a 100 ring box that could only be picked up by a single player. Obviously, 100 rings is a huge advantage, and whoever got it was most likely to win the race. Naturally, it was one of the first things that was removed in the Tournament Edition.
One of the things on the tournament that really surprised me was the skips. It was so crazy to see skips in this game. I played this on vanilla, and I was just so shocked. I'm like, how did someone think to do that? So that was so stunning to me to think that, wow, this game is really competitive and I gotta get into this.
Unlike the early days of Melee, this new version of Sonic Riders was entering a world where esports is a well-established industry and many modern games are built with serious competition in mind. There are numerous parallels between the rise of Melee and the vision Protag has for Sonic Riders. Even the sequels of the two games shared a common thread. Protag chose to focus on the original Sonic Riders because its Wii release sequel removed many of the mechanics that gave the first game its depth, much like the removal of wave dashing and a ton of other advanced techniques from Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Also like Brawl, there is a community working on a mod to bring those mechanics back to the sequel of Sonic Riders, though hopefully that effort won't suffer the same hardships as Project M. But this is where the stories of Melee and Sonic Riders diverge significantly.
What if the Sonic Riders developers had more time and they were also developing the game in a world where esports is a billion-dollar industry? It just wasn't like that back in 2006. So I'm sure they were not only pressed for time, but they were a little bit confused on the vision. Now, with my redefined vision of the game, we can improve much greatly upon the product that Sega put out so long ago that we all learned to love.
For roughly 2 decades, the Super Smash Bros. Community has been engaged in an active battle against the owners of their beloved franchise, Nintendo. Nintendo has routinely interfered with community tournaments, fan projects, live streams, and so much more. The fact that there is a Smash community at all is a testament to the perseverance of the scene. Sega, unlike Nintendo, has taken a much different approach to fanworks and its relationship with the Sonic community. Rather than actively trying to set fire to any expression of love for its games, Sega has made a habit of hiring the people who are modding its titles. Perhaps the greatest example of this was 2 individuals, who started their Sonic careers by creating unauthorized ports of games and ROM hacking tools. But rather than cease and desist them into the ground, Sega hired the pair to work for them. The result? One of the best regarded Sonic games in over a decade, Sonic Mania. As a result, the Sonic Riders community has hoped that their scene will be allowed to grow and prosper without the threat of a scorched earth campaign lurking around every corner. In fact, according to Protag, Sonic Riders Tournament Edition could do more than just revive a single forgotten esport. It could start a wave of nostalgia-fueled competitive revivals. What are your thoughts on Sonic Riders? Is it viable for an esport to crop up around it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. This video is made possible thanks to our wonderful patrons. Massive thank you to everyone on this list, and shout out to Jason B, Brendan QB, David Foxy Iron, Lyra Mauve, Sierra Shampoo, Weeaboo Spartacus, and Yashichi for being platinum supporters. And an extra special shout out to Steven, Noodles, Marco, Mookie, and Orioriol for being diamond supporters. We'd also like to extend an extra special shout out to Fool from the Art of Warfare for being our Grandmaster supporter. Your continued support is much appreciated. If you also want to support our channel and unlock perks, check out the Patreon link in the description below or join our Discord server. If you want to help us out in a different way, leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell to stay up to date is also appreciated. My name is Jonah, thanks for watching.